What's up, guys? Blade Master here again, and I've got another replay. This is a, just a friendly match between me and G Brothers P. And I've taken a pretty unconventional Getae build against Parthia. I thought this would be a pretty decent counter against Parthia. Um, and let's see how it goes. But yeah, I have not taken any melee cab. My build consists of three noble swords, three Dacian heavy skirmishers behind them, a total of four armored spears, uh, and two spear warriors, and a total of three falksmen. And finally, the only cavalry that I have are four bow cavalry. Now, actually, let me put this in slow motion. It takes a while before the game starts. Why did I take no cavalry? Well, one, I just wanted to switch things up a little bit, and two, I knew that taking like shock cav, the noble shock cav that Getae have, would be kind of a waste of money because there's no point fighting fire with fire when you're going up against Baktria noble horse, like the most cost effective cavalry in the game. So instead, I just went with a lot of counter units. So I brought six spears totally. And Getae spears are very, very capable. And this build kind of works only with Getae for, two reasons. Because Getae A have some very good spears. And B, because they have bow horsemen who would be very important in trying to lure units away. So my intention was to move first move my army around here, and then take my horse archers, and then move them around the sides to try and drag out as many of his units as possible. Um, and I would do that on either side so that I'd have less to deal with. Now, another reason why Getae is very strong against Bactria is because Bactrians don't have great sword units, and Getae have more than capable sword units at their disposal because they've got noble swords who would destroy thorax swordsmen, and falksmen to help out. And they also even the armored spears, they will last a while because they're barbarian spears, and barbarian spears, while they don't have a lot of bonus against cavalry, they do have cavalry counter tactics A, and B, they have a lot of melee defense. In addition to that, Getae spears also have pretty high armor. So these guys are for 580. That's their cost, and they have 65 armor and 65 melee defense. And not to mention they have 55 morale. I took noble spears and three armor spears. I'm sorry. Or did I take two noble spears? No, I took three armor spears and one noble spear. Noble spears are for around 700, and they have incredible stats, 70 armor and stuff. But yeah, that's enough of my build. Let me go over G Brothers P's build. He's also taken a pretty weird army. He's first of all not taken any Indian armored elephants. Secondly, he hasn't taken any horse archers. Instead, he's gone with 8 total melee cav. He's brought two citizen cav on his right flank, and he's got another citizen cav on his left. A total of four Bactrian noble horse, two on his left and two on his right. Bactrian royal cav gen. Oh, sorry, he's brought three. Huh, okay. So total of five Bactrian noble horse. So he's got total of nine cavalry, and the rest of the money he spent on a total of five thorax swordsmen, if I remember correctly, and some Thureo spears. So just from the looks of it, while he didn't bring armored elephants, he still has a more than capable army. I mean, he's got a lot of cavalry. Um, and meanwhile, I've got zero melee cav of my own, so it's going to be interesting to see how this game pans out. So the reason why I brought two spear warriors as well is because I knew that falksmen will be very susceptible to charges. So what I wanted to do was try and soak up the charge with these spear warriors who are kind of better at taking charges in, and then use the falksmen as support, and then finish off the cavalry that way. Um, but I've stuck my units very close together, and there's a reason for that because I needed support, and because spears are obviously much slower than horses, I needed the support to be as close as possible. Um, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does have five. So he's got five thorax swords. And versus three noble swords, I would still put the noble swords as as more likely to win it. And besides that, I've got an axe warrior as well, and some falksmen. Not to mention my skirmisher support. But if he did manage to bring an Indian armored elephant, I would have more than enough tools to win that battle as well because I've got a total of six spears. And these Dacian heavy skirmishers are very strong peltas on their by their own. Um, Over here, I've managed to catch some of his. Actually, he runs his citizen cav in front and tries to catch. This is a much better tactic from him because he catches my dangerous sword units right in front with his Bactrian noble horse. But this means that he's sacrificing some of his very strong units. Because I've got some Dacian heavy skirmishers who are behind them just going to fire in. Meanwhile, over here, he's got some of his thorax swords who've been set up on my spear warriors, and these guys are going to not going to last very long. But I did manage to catch one of his citizen cav with my Foxman. Um, on this side, it's going to be a pretty similar thing. What he's trying to do is catch my spear units with his thorax swords, and this is another good idea by him. He catches my armored spears with his thorax swords, but what I managed to do is put them in shield wall, so they're just going to last for a long time. They won't win that battle, but they will make sure that they last as long as possible. Um, these armored spears are engaging with citizen cav, and they're not going to last a while. Neither are these spear warriors because the thorax swords have come in for support. But what's a good advantage for me is that I've got bow cavalry, circling right around them, and they're just going to take great shots at the rear of these Bactrian noble horse. The other one, which is engaged, my general is just about dead. It's just concentrated skirmish fire. Um, and over here, the Bactrian noble horse has probably done very well against my Foxman because they got a charge off. But I've supported them with some spear warriors, and yeah, his thorax swords are busy trying to fight off my spear units, but his cavalry are dying much quicker. I managed to put cavalry counter tactics as soon as possible whenever needed. And here these bow horsemen are just going to take clean shots at these thorax swords. Uh, he, G Brothers P is losing a lot of cavalry, and once he does, that's going to be very bad for him because uh, I still have a lot of sword units at my disposal. These mercenary axe warriors are at full strength. Noble swords, they got only lightly damaged, and these bow horsemen are all they're going to do is take shots at the back of these of his gen. I've got some Foxmen in support, and there are a lot of units for me to control, so a microing doesn't go terribly well. Um, but these spear warriors over here are just doing a great job. They're in shield wall, and while they've lost a lot, they haven't lost too many men actually. And meanwhile, they've just held up this entire thorax swords unit. These guys could have been pretty deadly because while my swords were engaged with his cavalry, they could have circled around back. So yeah, those spear warriors did pretty well. And now it's coming. The game is coming to a more decisive conclusion. His Bactrian noble horse are engaging with my general, and that's not going to go very well because, as usual, I've got some bow horsemen ready to fire. Armored spears are taking on some thorax swords, and I've got some noble swords behind them to support. These citizen cav get a rear charge on my Dacian heavy skirmishers, but here's where they truly shine because they've got some really good weapon damage, and against citizen cav, like they will do pretty well. They'll do a lot better than light peltas or other skirmish troops. Maybe Agrianian Axemen would probably be a better unit, and I think the Odrysian Kingdom skirmishers are also very capable. But all in all, don't really need to worry about them in melee. Um, these guys are just about done, the thorax swords, and while he's got a rear charge on my noble spears, these guys have excellent morale, and they do have a good bit of melee defense as well. So they're going to last a while, and I've got a Falksman unit which previously routed it, which has come back, and they've rear charged his thorax swords. So this fight is just about wrapping up, and my build kind of worked. It's not like G Brothers P brought a poor build; he brought a very capable build. So I kind of wanted to test this against some Indian armored elephants, and I think it'll do well because like I said, you've got more than enough tools to help you. You've got spears. Who are equally capable at holding back enemy melee infantry as they are killing off enemy cavalry. You've got Dacian heavy skirmishers who are very good peltas. You've got a lot of bow horsemen. And I think this is I don't know if this is tournament ready because some tournaments only allow you to bring three cav. But all in all, I think this is a pretty capable build despite its lack of any type of melee or shock cav. In terms of good performance for this battle, I think my noble swords did pretty decently. Um, my mercenary axe warriors did okay too. The armored spears did really well, and my noble spears, while they didn't get many kills, they were pretty crucial as well. Uh, in terms of what G Brother Speed could have done differently, I don't know what else he really could have done differently because uh, he could have tried to encircle me a bit more, but I did have a lot of spear troops, and it was a pretty big obstacle to try and circle around against. And he did have the right intentions in trying to kill off my spear warriors with his thorax swords. It's just that I had a bunch of numbers. It's 2760 units versus 1840 units. So in the end, it was a numbers game, and I managed to win that. So that's the end of this replay, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.